Hi Aries, I'm Honey Moth Tarot and today I'm going to be doing your May 2025 reading. So I am going to try and get into it. But I do want to say, like, with the Scorpio full moon in May, just to be kind of wary of heightened emotions, I guess. Because, I mean, I feel like with full moons, the emotions are very heightened, temperamental anyway, but especially with that scorpionic energy. But I do feel like it's going to be like a good, like a needed kind of sense of renewal and transformation. Yeah, let's see what Aries needs to know for May. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, May 2025. Aries. Thank you. So I'm kind of getting that you guys may have like quite a bit going on, especially like mentally. And it can kind of feel like your like shadow self or like those negative thoughts are kind of taking over. But I am kind of getting that there's like this force field of like protection that you've put around yourself or that needs to be put around you. And then I also kind of feel like meditation will be quite like helpful at this time as well, just to sort of clear your mind of any kind of negative stuff that's been brewing. Anything else for Aries for the month of May? Sorry about that. I kind of had to like pause the video because the card fell on the floor and I can't really pick cards up off the floor with these nails. So it was a bit of a struggle, but we're back. So with this card here, I feel like because of the mushrooms, I do feel like that fits in pretty well with like the Scorpio energy, because mushrooms kind of like thrive in some of the worst conditions. And so for me to be talking about your like negative thoughts and kind of possibly being in a dark place for like a long time, there's something about like using that darker part of yourself to like transform it into something that is more useful, is the word that I heard. So I don't know, like maybe if you're an artist, you're kind of looking at like past events and kind of figuring out how you can kind of make that into a piece. But yeah, there's like a sense of catharsis with this. And also about not giving up either, is what I heard. So yeah, the Five of Wands. Conflict. Possibly like anger as well. Untreated anger is what I heard. So yeah, this is a bit of like an obscure kind of image, but it's kind of like cracking an egg open for like the goo inside. It's really strange. Cards flying out all over the place. And then we've got the Fool, which is that renewal, that transformation. Because this is such like a light energy compared to the rest of what's come out. So yeah, I feel like there's been like a lot of baggage, a lot of emotional strain. Possibly like feelings that you haven't allowed yourself to feel. And I feel like with this Scorpio full moon, it's kind of calling you to allow yourself to feel all of that pain. Which, you know, I get it, like we don't want to feel it. But it's important because the only way out is through, you know. But yeah, with that Fool energy, there's definitely like a sense of renewal and like a weight that's being lifted off of your chest. I'm also kind of getting that like breath work might be beneficial to you, because there's like a lightness to this energy, or like a so this is a bit like specific in terms of like sensations, but it's kind of like if you've had like a panic attack or like an asthma attack where you can't breathe and your chest is like really tight, and then you kind of panic even more because you can't breathe. It's kind of like that, and then all of a sudden like you get your inhaler or like your sense of calm, and then there's just like this after. Like this sense of peace and tranquility. But I'm kind of getting that you have to allow yourself to feel that peace. Because I feel like there's been a lot of like ruminating, especially on like the negative things, like things that didn't work out. And I feel like the more that we focus on those things, the more evidence that we're going to get of like things not working out, because it's all we're looking for. So if you can try to allow yourself to be a bit more free, kind of going with the flow, I feel like some of that pressure is going to be alleviated. Can we get some advice or encouragement for Aries? Because I feel like this energy is heavy. Take this one. So you have the Ten of Pentacles. I get something about the home. So either you've been too much of a homebody and you need to kind of walk outside, which is possibly where this fall energy kind of comes in, you know, that exploring, traveller kind of energy. Or spend more time at home. Obviously use your own discernment. But there's something about like finding comfort where you are. And then randomly now I'm hearing the sound of a hairdryer. That's really random. So I'm going to take like the hairdryer sound as something that maybe you find that comforting. Like maybe somebody that you live with like dries their hair and like hums while they dry their hair. That's such a random image to get. Bear with me because there is a card that flew all the way over here. We have the Strength card, Leo energy. So yeah, I feel like the Strength card is you kind of picking yourself up, that like phoenix rising from the ashes, that scorpionic energy of going through like some of the worst things, hitting rock bottom, and then, you know, bouncing back up. I'm hearing you've done it once, so you can do it again. But I feel like you're tired, and I feel like you don't want to get up again. Which, you know, I get it. I have been there, and it is really difficult to, you know, pull yourself up when you are feeling so low. And maybe to have the Devil card on the bottom. So I do want to kind of make you wary of like doing anything in excess that's not helping you, especially if you are in this mindset of negativity, rumination, depressive episodes. Just be wary of like anything that you're doing in excess, because I feel like, you know, we may use like things as a way of escaping, but ultimately like in the long run it makes us like worse. But yeah, the thing is, like, before I saw that Devil card, I was about to say to you, like, maybe you do need a couple of months to mope about. But having seen that Devil card, I feel like there is some sort of something that you're doing in excess, possibly addiction, that needs to be kind of looked at, addressed. So maybe you have had enough time moping around, and I say moping around, you know what I mean, like when you feel shit, so you just stop putting effort in. But I feel like now is the time, or at least for the month of May, it's the time to really kind of pull yourself up and stop dancing with the devil, is what I heard. I'm also getting as well that there may be like a friend that kind of, I don't know. So the image that I'm getting is like of a friend that maybe you drink with or do other illicit substances with, and you've been thinking about quitting or cutting down, but this friend is like, oh, just one more, or you know. So I feel like maybe that's not helping either. But obviously it's your kind of decision as to whether you still hang about with this friend, or maybe just at least like have a conversation with them, you know. Anything else for Aries? What's like the advice or like the end goal? I got the phrase redefining your sense of purpose. What's the end goal? And we have the Four of Cups. A sense of peace. Meditation might help. I did say that at the start, which is interesting that that's came out as like the last card and the first card. So there's definitely something about like connecting with your inner higher self through like meditation. And spending time outside as well. Embracing nature for what it is. But you know, now that I think about it, that fits in pretty well with the Scorpio full moon, because nature is very like cyclical, right? So yeah, I feel like that's saying that you need to embrace the cycle of life, as cliche as that sounds. You know, the fact that you have been in like a downtrodden position. There's always, you know, gonna be that upswing. Okay. So that ended up being really positive in the end, which is nice. Because I never really like putting out, you know, negative readings. Because I know that that is like partially why people find tarot so scary and like daunting, because they don't want to hear like bad news or anything like that. But I feel like with yours, this kind of bad news is only temporary, right? So I'm going to get you guys an affirmation card feel free to use the affirmation or not. It's completely up to you. Feeling this one. So we have, your life is an elegant dance with love leading. Your calm presence is invaluable. So yeah, we got that dance metaphor again. So yeah, I kind of feel like that is you being asked to move your body a bit more as well. And then last but not least, I'm going to get you guys a Moonology card. So can we get a Moonology for Aries, please? Aries, May. Aries, Sun and Rising Venus, Aries. Thank you. So you guys got full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. So yeah, I feel like so yeah, I do feel like with this Sagittarius energy, there's an emphasis on like travel and exploration, which I did mention earlier. And about being a lot more like free and spontaneous. And I'm not saying like being impulsive, but to be, I don't know, just like free in the sense of like you're acting on whatever feels good rather than like overthinking something. And then in terms of look at the bigger picture, I would say that this like negative period in the grand scheme of like your whole existence is like a blip. And I do promise you that it does get better. Because I do feel like there is a lot of like hardship here. Alright Aries, thank you for watching and I will see you very soon. Bye.